Or a true classic of the expat experience in Bulgaria, you know, the true staple, getting in a taxi, right? Just to give you an idea of what happened to me in taxis in Bulgaria in the last few years, countless men lectured me about spirituality and religion, you know, trying to change my life. And in a way, they always succeed because I do end up praying, you know, praying that they don't take me into the woods and sacrifice me in a pagan ritual somewhere. So, you know, forget Instagram, the real influencers are driving the taxis. One man noticed I had an instrument with me, so he decided to play me very amateur records of his daughter who wanted to be a pop star. But the thing is, I told him she was a real talent, you know, the real deal, because when I'm alone in a car with a man, I don't know, somewhere in Druzhba at night, like, you might as well play me Bratka, Piratka, like, I'm gonna love it, you know? And then one man stopped on the way to collect the carpet from the cleaners, because it was on the way, it was convenient for him. So I shared the back seat with a rolled up carpet, and presumably a dead body, right? I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but there is something that all of the taxi drivers in Sofia have in common, apart from being insane, because, you see, I've been doing some research, not deliberately, no, the information was volunteered at me, and I found out that every single taxi driver in Sofia has had a summer love affair with a Polish woman. See, this is what happens every time I get in a taxi. I get in, they take one look at me, they decide I'm Russian, and they say, "Здравствуйте." So I say I'm actually Polish, and they get this wistful, nostalgic look on their face. And they stare at the windows, I'm Polish. I knew a Polish woman once. See, I don't know if this is just a weird coincidence, or if there was just one woman with a very specific type that spent like a busy summer here in sunny beach in 1984. But it's true, ask your next driver. So after all of those adventures, of course, I did what any sane person would do, which is I decided to get a driver's license and never get in a taxi again. But that's not easy either. As a foreigner, if you want to get a driver's license, you have to prove that you can read and write and that you have some basic education. So, of course, you start playing this complex bureaucratic game of like Pokemon Go. You know, you go collecting documents, you start with like your high school diploma, your subjects, all your grades, and then a copy of the diploma, and then a translation of the diploma, and then a copy of the translation of the diploma, and then the testicle of a unicorn, and the thimble of raindrops, and the nail clippings of the Virgin, and then eventually you submit it all. And then you wait for 30 days for the committee to decide if you are worthy, if they want to allow you to pay a shitload of money to learn to drive and practice on some of Europe's shittiest roads. Right? But I did it anyway. And I think the course was good, actually. I learned quite a lot. But the exam, I think, even by Bulgarian standards, and believe me, from a Polish perspective, a lot of Bulgarian standards are really not normal, which makes life interesting. But my exam, I think, wasn't normal, even by those standards, which, by the way, an interesting thing about things being normal is whenever you're tired of things not really being normal, there is something you can always do in Bulgaria to get a little bit of normal in your life. And that is, whenever you order a coffee, they will ask you, would you like it to be normal? You know, café normalno, you know, they will always ask you, and this is wonderful because what other options are there, you know? Like, so many times in life I needed things to be normal just once, and nobody offered but coffee. Like, this is where we draw the line. If you want it normal, we'll make it happen, you know? And I don't know what they actually mean by the question, but I'm always tempted to say, like, you know, would you like it normal? Like, no, fuck no, just like mess it up, give me your weirdest, you know, just surprise me. Just a clinically insane coffee served in a straitjacket, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, my exam started with a lot of anger. Like, the man from the get-go, a lot of road rage, shouting at the other drivers, making some very generous offers to their mothers, if you know what I mean. And he kept telling me to go faster. He kept urging me to not stop, to just like keep, you know, pressing the gas pedal. He kept leaning over to beat the horn for me even. It was like, you know the movie Speed, where they have a bomb on the bus, and if they slow down, it's going to blow up and just kill everybody? Yeah. That was my exam, basically. Like, I was Sandra Bullock, and he was like my Keanu Reeves with anger issues, you know? It was At some point, he pulled out the tablet where they mark all your elements, and he just ticked all the parking maneuvers in green, like done, 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 done. You know, like we're not doing that. That's way too slow. Like, which is wrong, right? I mean, the teacher is not supposed to be the one cheating at the exam. You know, that's just weird. And after like the 25-minute cutoff. He told me to pull over. Actually, before that, there was a zebra crossing. I stopped at the zebra crossing because, you know, I figured people should live, right? But he didn't agree with that. He got angry and he literally told me, like, don't do that. Enough with the grandmas. They have all day. They can wait. Actual quote. Yeah. So after the 25-minute cutoff, he just told me to pull over, and he looked at me and shook his head slowly, like, passed, go now. That was it. But you know, I passed, I learned, and it's great learning to drive in Bulgaria, because since then I've driven to Poland and back a few times, and if I'd learned in Poland, I would never be able to make that trip. Because you know, when you're driving along a Romanian highway and there's a car crash right in front of you and a door comes flinging in your direction, like, Polish driving schools, you can see the road, you can see the signs, people generally speaking get punished for breaking the law. You know, it's boring and it just trains wusses who are not ready for the real world. But in Bulgaria, you know, you swerve around the potholes the size of a toilet bowl on Podgradsko Chaussee, you know? Like, you go driving around Wraca, which really only reminds me of like a map on Call of Duty. You know, the way it looks. So you drive there, you learn the real world. And when you're witnessing a car crash at high speed, like, no amount of parallel parking will ever save your life. But Bulgarian driving schools just might, because they give you instincts. And that's not necessarily a joke, that's just because I tend to criticize this country a lot. So I just wanted to end on a high note, say something good. Bulgaria genuinely gives you survival skills you need in driving across Europe. Thank you very much.